Welcome.
Should have done for the thumbnail, pretend like it
Everyone.
stinks.
I'm looking for signs of a good movie.
Oh, God.
It's not lighting up.
Yeah, I'm going to take all this shit off. Just so you know, we all of us have Ghostbusters outfits.
What's the point? They didn't try.
We're not even going to dress up.
They didn't try. Why should we?
I did just get back from the convention, so we're going to do this quick and dirty. We just got back from seeing Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And let me say that, and I broke that.
It's broken.
I pushed the buttons. Can't push the buttons, apparently. I'm pushing the
Too
buttons.
strong.
And it broke. Anyways, we just got back from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and I'll say, because I saw this late after I went on a weekend at Adepticon in Illinois, I didn't have a chance to see it before we left or there. We just got out of it now. I seen other people review it. So Rotten Tomatoes, like 46%, something like that.
Audience or
you want to
critics?
look it up, Joe? We'll get to the audience here in a second. So I was a little worried. A few channels I follow absolutely, just didn't like it. It's like, oh, it's disappointing. It sucks.
45.
A lot of people didn't like it. Critics did not liking it, 45%.
44, actually.
And in fact, I was like, you know what? I don't care. I think Red Letter Media did a video on it. They said, oh, well, it wasn't that bad. I don't see what everybody's upset with. Or they kind of they said they liked it. They didn't hate it. I only watched the first few minutes in between. So I actually went in this movie like fucking prepared, and it's like, man, I really like Ghostbusters. I'm going to like this. Okay? I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Did you do that with the 2016, too? I'm going to like this.
No, because you can tell from the trailer and without the original cast, I fucking hated 2016. And in hindsight, I'm glad that they stayed away from the original cast in 2016, Joe, because we don't have to, they pretended that the Ghostbusters didn't exist. They killed off Bill Murray, even though he wasn't a Ghostbuster. Here, they're using the actual Ghostbusters, and we get tons and tons of cameos. So this, to me, has the spirit, the heart, the passion kind of, franchise. We actually liked Ghostbusters Afterlife. A lot of people shat on that one, but I liked that one. So I was very much expecting to like this one. And I got out and I was absolutely confused by it. Like, I don't know, man. I did not go in expecting a story around a ghost romance,
Friendship.
lesbian ghost romance.
It's left to... They don't say
I'm pretty
that.
sure I'm pretty sure they're dating, and I know that's exactly the way they filmed it. But if you're gonna do it like that, you're a coward. Just
the
say
length
that
she does to be
with that person.
Well,
to spend 2 minutes with them, 2 minutes in heaven. Is that what that is?
It's
and
more
the
than
implications that happen in this film, I can't say it because it's spoilers. But the implications of what she does in the film, I'm like, what the fuck?
The implications, Alex.
That's some fucked up shit, right, Joe? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And this is a kids film. And don't get me wrong, this is for kids, okay? This is the direction that Ghostbusters chose. This is Ghostbusters for kids. And they've tried to make it a franchise. I saw it coming because I love Ghostbusters so much. I stayed close to the news. Ghost Corps, you see the fucking logo right at the beginning of the movie. They have been pushing these movies and this franchise, reviving the franchise. Let's make Afterlife. Let's make a ton of them. And I think that if you go in with the mindset, and this is the mindset that I went in with because I'm trying to like it because I love Ghostbusters, that this is an episode of a Saturday morning cartoon.
Not a good one.
If you go in with that mindset, then you're gonna be like, oh, this is not that bad, and I don't see what the problem is. But shit, I even went with that, and I was like, oh man, this is kind of disappointing. I lament the fact, I was like, okay, so this is the direction they want to take it. They want a mass appeal. It feels like it's test audience approved and scored, and it's so, just drained of the creativity and the sparks and taking the audience seriously and not treating them like morons. I think the original Ghostbusters, if you think about it, they took that seriously, and we don't have that anymore. That was horror, that had horror elements, that had scariness. There was sometimes sexualness. You know, the fucking gatekeeper busting. She's, you know, this is not a film. The original Ghostbusters wasn't created with kids in mind. Or at least they weren't like, oh, no, we can't put that in the film. Otherwise, kids will, you know, they won't like it. Or it's inappropriate. They didn't give a fuck. It was adult-oriented, not caring about the kids' sensibilities. And this is basically the opposite. This is, you know, Ghostbusters for your, I don't know, 13-year-old, I guess. 13-year-old girl.
I don't know.
I would have to say the only thing that I liked, other than it being in the universe, right, and having some of those cameos, though most of them were either wasted or character assassinations in my mind, or stupid inclusions that don't make sense in the lore that they've created. So the only thing that I kind of liked the villain and how that effect it looks, you know, they did this horror. They didn't make it a cartoon. The real Ghostbusters was a Saturday morning cartoon, and honestly, when I was growing up, I liked it. It was cool, but there were some episodes where I felt like, oh, this is goofy. We're just going way too far. You know what I mean? And that's kind of, you know, I didn't want it to go in that direction. And many times it does, but at least with the horror villain, like this motherfucker kills. It's except for in this film, like I'm talking about. I don't know if you know this, but you know, if your fucking hand freezes is the way it does in the fucking film, you have frostbite now. Okay, or your hand is gone, or your hand will detach from your body. So many times as the Ghostbusters are going up against this villain, do they get completely frozen or at least have their arms, appendages completely frostbitten, and then the next scene they're like, hey, what's up? Hey.
No one's shivering, no one's doing anything. Like, it's fucking cold.
When the visuals and the monsters come in, I'm like, damn, they're all right. That guy looks scary. That, you know, I could see kids being scared by that, and it looks good. But other than that, I thought it was confused and a disappointment. And I liked Afterlife. I think I like Afterlife more than this film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Sure, what did you guys think?
Just bring it up real quick. Audience scores an 84.
Okay.
Critics is a 44. So.
I will say, in our theater, this is Monday after
3 o'clock.
Yeah. After we got back, there was 2 other people in the theater, a couple, one guy and a girl, and he was laughing and repeating everything, and it honestly ruined the experience for me. Like, even the moments that I liked, this guy, I turned around, I shushed him, and he just wouldn't stop. And then at a certain point, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have shushed him. Maybe he's, you know, special needs or something. But apparently you guys saw him, and he wasn't. He was just...
It was just that movie goer.
Then I should have gone harder when
it likes to repeat the movie.
He was repeating lines the instant they were said. So that probably soured my experience. What about you guys?
I am with you. I went in there not really hoping for a lot, and it delivered not very much.
I rolled twice so hard I thought my pupils would not come back.
Yeah, I don't like the whole teen drama stuff that was going on.
There you go.
I feel like they needed to reel this in back and focus on a core group. If they wanted to do something with like the Afterlife cast, I was like, okay, have them, just focus on them, do something with them. But we started adding more people. Yeah. More people. It was like, it's taken away from who we're supposed to care about.
And ultimately, we care about no one.
Finn,
and the heart of the film is you don't care about that. The ghost romance / friendship.
Yeah, there's that I didn't like, and then Finn is just trying to catch Slimer. He's doing something. He's just kind of like pushing the back.
Finn in this film, it's like, why is he even there? there's a moment where Finn's
mess with
character,
Slimer.
it's a Slimer subplot is the best you get, but the majority of time he's there, and his whole character in this film can be summed up by one scene. It's just a cut in the middle. There's a battle about to happen. He turns on someone else's proton pack, and that's it.
Yeah, and
that's literally Finn's purpose in this film, and it's sad.
Yeah,
because you could have done so much with his character. He disappears in the film.
That's what we loved about the beginning, or number one, number two. That was great because we have our 4 group. We'll focus around them.
Our
now
family,
we have,
my ass.
Lucky.
In fact, the mother treats Finn like he's not even fucking there.
She's like, hey, do this.
You can tell who's the favorite of the family.
Yeah,
the girl,
for sure.
The chick.
Then we get podcast. I don't really like podcast.
Why do we bring him back?
Lucky is like whatever.
Who's Lucky?
The
she works
lady.
in the lab.
She works. She was working in the lab.
Yeah, she should have died.
Yeah, so it was like just all over the place, and then I did like the main boss, but I feel like he's underutilized.
Right.
There wasn't enough of him going on because we had the teen angst, and then we're going to the slapstick comedy of Finn. It's like, oh, I'm going to catch Slimer. I'm going to do this.
The only time the movie was working is when he breaks out and he has that threatening presence to him, and he is an actual. You could see. I could see that in maybe like a horror movie of a different kind. They weren't scared to put something. like that.
There's some good scenes in here, but even at the end, I didn't feel like it was a colossal danger like the other ones. This one's like it's like protect the neighborhood. It's like it was just focus on the firehouse. It's like, all right, this is our last stand.
But Joe, there was the beam in the sky.
Yeah, you saw like for a second, but like you don't see.
And ultimately,
the panic. You don't see the panic around the town or anything. Like you'll see the ghosts come around, like fly out, but everyone's like,
they didn't do that. They didn't do it much.
That's cool.
That's another thing about this film, and we'll talk more in spoilers. Is for some reason. Okay, I can't say it, but the people in this world, they don't care about ghosts, and it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Except for the mayor, he's still being a dick. It's like, no.
He shouldn't even be mayor because he put the entire city at risk, and he is an incompetent, dickless man.
So, yes, not good.
Oh, and they even try to do, remember, Barry's, they do an exact scene recreation involving Ray and a certain library, and we could talk more about it in spoilers, that it's a microcosm of the whole film. It's doing story beats over again, but worse.
Yeah, this isn't directed by Jason Reitman, and it shows, right? We got a brand new director. His name's Gil, and I don't think Gil knows what the fuck he's doing. And Gil and the editor, like honestly, like they don't get it. It feels like we have 2 movies and the worst parts of both movies smashed together. Because honestly, there are bits and pieces of a really excellent Ghostbusters movie in here.
Somewhere in here.
Yeah, because there's a good villain. There's a kind of okay backstory for the villain. Patton Oswalt, it has a brief cameo, and he's the best cameo in here as far as like a new character. Kumail should not have been in this movie at all, and I love Kumail Nanjiani, but his character, written, portrayal, everything about it, that just fucking get it out of there. And so there's the family element. There's all this stuff here that absolutely works, and I love bad popcorn films. And we talk about tropes all the time. There's a reason that tropes like the quest and like love triangles and the reluctant hero, like things like that can work if they're done well, if they're inspired, if you put effort into them. And there was none of that here. There's no creativity. There's nothing. Like the first half of this movie has nothing to do with the last half of this movie, save for tiny little scenes where we see this fucking MacGuffin show up from time to time to time. But most of the time, it's just things that are completely unrelated. So it feels like they had 2 different writers with 2 different ideas, and when it came down to film, and it's there was 2 different writers with probably 2 different ideas, and when it came down to it, only one of them was behind the camera.
Yeah.
And I don't know this for sure, but
and at the time they're like, this
is what we're going to, because like this is an absolute mess. It is at least 45 minutes too long. This could have been a more focused.
Written by this director and also Jason.
Yeah. And so he's producing and all this other stuff. So it's like this movie's a fucking mess. There are pieces that you can enjoy with your family. Like Paul Rudd is charismatic as fuck. He's always good.
He's always good.
He's playing the stepfather, the family element, like that all stuff works.
And even Phoebe, is it Phoebe?
Yeah,
she's
Phoebe's
playing
fine.
her role effectively. What's written and what's given to her. She can't do it a different way. It's just hamstrung by the story.
Yeah, and then there's scenes where it's like, look, even the stuff that she's doing makes sense. It's like, oh, this is a scene that fits in a Ghostbusters movie. But the problem is it's preceded by a garbage scene, and it's followed by a garbage scene.
And so the entire thing is fucking stupid.
It's the
plan was stupid. Yeah. The villain's plan was stupid. The side character's plan was stupid. The Ghostbusters are stupid. The world has been cheapened and made stupid because it's like, wait, are you telling me, okay, so everybody knows ghosts are around, and then, okay, so there's no security around the kids. Okay, so there's no actual Ghostbusters except for these 4. Oh, wait, there's actually 12 Ghostbusters, but they're all like interns or side people who really have no qualifications, and one's, a teacher, science teacher, the other's a mother. No, that's her and that's it, and nobody's going to be like, excuse me, can you not walk around the city with 2 children unsupervised with a nuclear reactor on your fucking back? Anybody could walk up to those kids and just punch them and take their fucking proton back.
They are in
it
New
just
York,
doesn't
right?
make sense, and it's a Saturday morning cartoon, and love and will conquer the day, and they keep adding. Joe's right. They keep adding characters, and ultimately some characters disappear into the background, and you lose an attachment. The reason why the Ghostbusters work is because the original team they were so focused on, they were like a crew, the Three Stooges, and then you add Winston, and Winston sucks in this film. I fucking hate Winston. He's a fucking hypocrite and an idiot. And sometimes, same thing with Ray. Ray is treated like a moron. At least they don't take Spangler back from the dead. So they don't have to fucking do a CGI effect of that. But there is a dead... Actually, they kind of reverse it with Phoebe. So Phoebe gets to do something even stupider, which I thought they were setting up something different. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. And Ghostbusters is kind of stupid, right? But the first one took serious. The second one was serious, and it was a different kind of stupid. It was a fun stupid. This is just a dumb stupid where it's like, this doesn't make sense. But at least it's better than 2016.
Yes.
We have to make this clear. I don't know. I was going to say I don't hate the film. There are times where it's so stupid and you could tell that there's elements of talent here, and like Alex said, a better film somewhere, so it makes me angry that it was executed in this way. And in that sense, I do kind of hate it, but not as bad as 2016.
Oh, no.
Do you guys hate this film?
Not as bad as that.
It's fine. I just can't believe.
I wouldn't watch this again.
Okay. Well, let's make this relatively short. We're sad. We're disappointed by it. I wish my fan brain was engaged here enough to just be like, forget it all and be 86% audience score. I swear to God, I tried to like this.
That guy liked it.
I was going to fucking fake my like of this.
That guy liked it.
Because I know I couldn't have been the guy behind this who literally, I should have turned around and been like, bro, what'd you think of the film? What would you give it out of 10? 10 out of 10 is what he would have said. All right, anyways, what would you guys give the film?
For me, it's going to be below average. I'm going to give it 4. Like, I love the concept. It could have been cool. It was wasted. And seeing the crew back together.
This is a below average film for you.
Yeah.
Would you watch it again?
No.
You would not watch it again.
And like
would you fast forward to?
I would.
Even the best parts.
Which is kind of rare, though.
What parts would I would fast forward to the climax, right? But even then, it's like I got better shit to do with my time. There's no climax. That's what I'm saying. I have better shit to do with my time.
It wasn't as good. It wasn't as good. Shit. Yeah, now thinking about it. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I'm going to go with a 3. It's below.
Oh, I didn't mean to. Okay, good.
No, because, like, again, wasted potential here. And, like, yeah, we saw the crew, but it didn't feel good. Mm-hmm. It was not a feel-good film. It was so stupid because we're focusing on the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be working. Thinking about the ghost, not ghost love.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ghost love. See, you said it. You said it, not me.
That's what it is. If she goes to that extreme, come on. Okay, it's a 3.
Teenage romance.
It's a fucking 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't really like this one. I don't think that there's a good part to this movie. And there was a couple funny things that unfortunately got said in the trailer, so we watched those parts. I mean, Paul Rudd saying "Bustin' makes me feel good."
I like that.
It was great, but it's like we saw it in the trailer.
That was in the trailer.
Yeah, we saw it in the trailer 100 times. So it's like that's the best part of the movie. Yeah. So there are bits.
That's
here.
sad that you just said that because it is. It's one of the best parts of the film, and it's in the trailer. And at no point is there a joke that really made me. Joe, did you laugh a lot in this?
No.
No. No.
Go ahead, Alex. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I don't think that there's a good part to this movie, and it is sad because there's a lot of potential. There is all these characters that it's a world I care about, the characters I care about. It's part of my childhood.
They're all in it,
and it's like there are promises of a good movie here. I just don't know who dropped the ball. Whether it's got to be director, editor, writer, and there's only one guy doing all of those jobs, and so it makes me think it's
Gil
don't
Kenan.
know, I don't know what who approved this kind of thing. I imagine there could be a re-edit or something, but I think this is below average. I don't hate this movie. I just think that this is, if I didn't care about Ghostbusters, it's like average film, don't give a fuck about it, never watching it again. But because there is some of that attachment that I've got, it's like, hey, you ruined something that I kind of like. So
that would make me hate it.
So
you ruined it.
No, but it's not 2016, I imagine, ruin. I
think that's fair. That
ruined
film
his career.
destroyed that guy's career. I haven't seen, what's his name? Paul Feig. He hasn't done jack shit since. So it rightfully destroyed his career.
Yeah.
Even though everybody was praising it, all the critics. How did the critics, Joe, do you have the Rotten Tomatoes? How did the critics give 2016 double this score? That pisses me off. Because there's no fucking way that this film is 2 times. Well, I know that's not how it works on Rotten Tomatoes, but so many more critics enjoyed Ghostbusters 2016 than this. That's unforgivable.
Well, I mean, we also know what the answer is. It's pretty clear. It's the same reason critics are soft on Disney things.
The circling the wagons.
Well, because if you give something a 6 on Rotten Tomatoes, it's a thumbs up. It's certified fresh for your critic score, and so.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, so critics 74, audience 49.
Yeah.
74. And this film got a 44, you said?
Yes.
Well, almost twice.
Yeah.
Cut. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's if you're a critic and for years you went out and said, "Hey, this Disney movie's not very good." We did a Something of the Last Dragon review and we got fucking shit on.
I don't even
and that
remember
movie,
that one.
so you look back, not a single fucking person remembers that movie because it's not very good. It is one of the
proven right.
And then but everyone is like, all the critics are like, "No, it's fine," because they know you can't like criticize Disney movies because the fans are crazy people. It's like going online and saying that you don't like Kingdom Hearts 3. Prepare to have like bags of shit thrown at your house for weeks. You can't say stuff like that.
So 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. We gave Ghostbusters 2016. I had to have been a 2. That's the highest, or 1, probably a 1 or 2. This and Afterlife, I actually liked. I think I gave Afterlife a 7 out of 10. I'd say the original Ghostbusters, 10 out of motherfucking 10. Ghostbusters 2, I actually don't think it's that bad. People are like, oh, this is a bad sequel, blah, blah. I would give it an 8 out of 10. I know Alex would give it an 8 out of 10 too. We talked about it before. Then Afterlife is 7. So, factoring in all this, when I came out of the theater, I was like 4. I feel a 4. It is below average. I wasn't engaged for most of it. I rolled my eyes so often. I didn't laugh at any of the jokes. The characters weren't given enough time or focused on. Wolf, whatever his name is Finn Wolfhard is not even in the film.
He's wasted. Yeah.
He's completely wasted. Hell, they get returning characters back. Bill Murray's wasted. Winston is fucking wrong and stupid. And Ray is acting irresponsibly, and nobody does anything. And there's no lessons learned. Everything is hunky-dory. And the stupidest Deus Ex Machina at the end in order to resolve the situation. It is test market audience. And then there's a mid-credit scene that we'll talk about that you can tell that's what they think audiences care about. That's what they think audiences care about in Ghostbusters. It's so fucking stupid. So because I'm talking myself and working myself up, I'm going down to a 3 out of 10. I don't like it.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
Well, especially what happens at the end, and we'll talk about that, which brought it down. It's like, wait.
Okay.
This is fucking stupid.
So 3, 3, 4. And trust me, I wanted to force myself to like it. I just couldn't. So let's go into the spoiler section. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know how you feel about it. I know audience scores are doing well. Downvote us if you want. Upvote us if you agree. And we'll see you in the spoiler section. Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section. So, I thought the movie was going all right. I was like, I'm gonna like this, and then it grinds to a halt so that we can have this romance with a ghost. And they play chess with each other. I can get, and even if it's not a romance and people want to pick it apart or whatever, if I rewatch it, that shit is a romance. And they just didn't want to go that extra bit. So that makes it even worse to me. You either do it, you either say it's a friendship, or you say it's a romance.
Would you ever separate your soul from your body from me?
For 2 minutes?
Would you ever kill yourself? This is the craziest thing, is that at a certain point, because she played chess with her for fucking 5 minutes.
She gets her.
And she wants to kill herself. So she literally puts herself in this fucking convenience machine that they created solely for this fucking story purpose. Yeah. So you don't believe none of it. And that's the thing that makes me so mad. The Ghostbusters world was treated with scientific and yeah, there's techno-babble and shit that obviously is not real, but at least it was treated in that way. Here, you could see the writers in the writing room making up the plot devices in order to propel their story forward and create fake drama that isn't even that interesting because you didn't even give none of these characters the time required for us to be invested in their relationship.
The movie starts out where they're just doing normal ghost busting, and they're introducing.
That's what I liked.
They're introducing. You know, Walter Peck comes by. He's the old DEA guy, the EPA guy from the first one, and now he's mayor. It's a cameo. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but he's a cameo.
It makes no sense that he got that position because he fucked up the first time.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like they wanted to include him. Totally fine, makes sense. And they're trying to isolate Phoebe because Phoebe is the point of the movie, right? And so again, this makes sense. It's like, look, you cannot have a 15-year-old.
Makes sense. I don't like it.
I think so. This is something that I think works if you have more talented people writing the characters in the story.
Yes.
So this actually, I don't mind the isolation of Phoebe. Okay. I don't mind her getting manipulated by a ghost that's honeypotting her.
That's the other thing. The big reveal is that the ghost that she just so happens to meet and fall for and be friends with betrays her. It's a
honeypot. So it's like if you set up this isolation and they didn't set anything up. Like she goes, I'm mad. And then you're supposed to believe that she is so lonely that she's going to latch onto this ghost irresponsibly. She's going to give up her ghost.
And why? Why is she so mad, Alex?
Because she's not allowed to ghost
Because this film, for no fucking reason, reverses everything and says, oh, you're 15, you're not 18, you can't ghost bust because fucking Pecker over here says that you can't.
Yeah.
What? Really? Seriously? You want to talk about realism? You want to talk about fucking laws? And that's the thing that they can't do. There's no exception because she's an exceptional scientist and is the only person in the world that knows how to operate some of this equipment or something like that. So you give them no protection, you give them no security, you give them no staff. There's no rules for the Ghostbusters. There's nothing. In fact, the fucking thing that released everything into the city isn't even monitored or looked at, and it's falling apart into fucking it. Don't pretend to care about these things, and then none of it else makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what they were trying to set up. The problem between her being isolated and her even meeting the ghost is there's 20 minutes of filler. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
And so
go ahead.
Yeah, they introduce the MacGuffin. This is something that Kumail is pawning off for no reason, and he's a big part of the movie, and he's super important.
The fire slinger,
fireman,
fire master,
the
key. I'm the key master.
It is poorly written. It's poorly implemented, and I hated every second he was on there. And I love Kumail. I think he's super fucking funny.
We all enjoy his film,
but this was bad. And there's if you want to have a comedian come in as a cameo. You had the perfect opportunity, and you had the perfect execution with Patton Oswalt. He was the guy who knew crazy shit. He introduced some things. He didn't overstay his welcome, and then he left.
Why have both? I don't understand.
Yeah, I just think it's a newbie director or a newbie writer that's just like, I need more and more and more and more. And it's like, look, sometimes less is more when you can focus on what matters. And he focused on everything except for what matters here. So we get lost from the plot of the ghost girlfriend. We forget for how long?
I don't know.
And then
we cut away so often too during major character moments that give Phoebe even more characterization. They do this joke where every time she mouths off or something, the camera cuts away and we never get to see it. She's like, behave yourself. Then they cut away where she didn't behave herself, or
That
don't speak back to your mother. And then they cut away and she did something. And it's like, I want to see that. Then would they give her some fucking character?
Yeah, you could easily have her just say something that is innocuous and that, but she thinks is a curse word. Kind of fitting the Egon thing, where he calls you a slime or he likes slime. But there's all sorts of opportunities, and they didn't do any of that stuff. So they introduce this ancient Ghostbusters that could manipulate flame, and so they're pyromancers
in the worst way too. They did it like Transformers: The Last Night, where. What is it? A stone comes to it doesn't come to life. They just do an animation. It just turns into a cartoon at some point, and it explains the entire backstory of this character. It's like, leave some mystery. That when the librarian started screaming at Ray in the first Ghostbusters film, they didn't then go back to the fucking headquarters and read this big long thing and have this animated stick figure thing of this librarian. There's stuff that needs to be left to the imagination and small little bits placed here and there, and they don't do that because I guess it's for children, but I don't know.
Children's movies make more money. They also introduced, so Winston is now a millionaire, billionaire, philanthropist. He's bought this aquarium. He's treating it as like a ghost research, super secret ghost research facility. Even the Ghostbusters don't know about it.
This makes no sense. And I kept thinking, okay, Winston is the shadow society, or he has so much money, and that's where all the government is working with Winston, and there's other Ghostbusters, like, professionals, like they take fucking military special forces and give them stuff, and they'll be revealed in the future as we go along. No! The military is not interested. The cops are not interested. The government is not interested in fucking literal ghosts that are tearing the city apart. And so they allow a fucking little girl and an 18-year-old kid with the science teacher and a mother to drive around the city and take care of all of this. And then they're going to say, give me your fucking photon packs because one of your photons hit the side of a building. Are you fucking shitting me? It makes no goddamn sense. And I kept thinking, and then this super smart guy is this actor from something. I recognize him for some, but I can't figure it out. And he comes in, and I'm like, because when they're like, the containment unit's breaking, it's making weird noises. I'm like, who the fuck is going to fix that? The person who can fix that passed away. And it's like, how are they going to fix it? So they bring in this guy, and apparently Winston has all this money and all this tech, and they built all this shit. Like, how? Okay, fine, I'll believe it if it's a big facility with smart science people there. Then they go there, and there's the one chick, the 16-year-old, and this guy, and Winston. Where are the engineers and the scientists and working with the government? Nobody gives a shit. It makes no fucking sense.
Well, they also introduce a bunch of cool things because they kind of have a ghost zoo where they're studying ghosts. They're not just capturing them. And they introduce this super fucked up, scary looking ghost. Yeah. And then there's a barf ghost, which is like, that's gonna be a visual gag. It was a visual gag.
And it was a visual gag for laughs. Later on, the tech guy finds that ghost when it's let out, and he goes, "Oh, it's just you. I thought it was one of the scary ones." Bro, you already know what it does. It was in your containment unit, and so he gets his face in it, and then it vomits on him. But it doesn't make sense. He knows what that thing does.
Yeah, but there was the third ghost that was actually the most interesting of the ghosts in there. Like, it just looks like a evil. I mean, it's scary looking.
I was hoping.
And if we were going to have like the lights go off and this thing looks like it's escaping containment, I'm like, finally, this movie's getting going. You can have a little bit of the horror elements, a little bit. I don't have to terrify
I want a little bit,
but then they don't do any of it,
and it gets sucked right back in because the system rebooted itself just in time.
Yeah.
Because the system went down. Ray's acting like an idiot. He's like, let me PKE meter this ball that what's his name? Kumail brings in, and it's so powerful. Not only does it break his PKE meter, but it shakes the entire foundation, and then it falls super heavy. And then they just leave it around, just throw it around, and then Ray's like this. He's not like this is the most dangerous thing. Like Ray knows everything. He even knew like fucking Gozer shit from ancient times, and you're telling me he has no idea how dangerous this is? They do give him a line later on in the movie that made me so angry because he says, Ray doesn't think the ball is dangerous. It goes so against his character. He goes, at one point later on when it's already done 15 different fucked up things, he's like, no telling how dangerous it could be if it gets out. And yet they continue to just leave it around unmonitored
with the kids.
And then they put it in the soul sucking machine, which temporarily releases the ghost and puts it in another glass containment unit that is clearly less secure than any other kind of containment unit. And they put the ball in there. Let's release whatever is inside.
Yeah, he knows.
What?
He knows from the second he gets it. He's like, oh, this is a prison. Then he starts talking about like genies and lamps. They've been talking about it for thousands of years. So
He even says that. He even says only for the most dangerous
Yeah, so he's like,
Yeah.
this is the most dangerous thing ever. And then they just kind of forget about the MacGuffin for a long period of time. And like, it's his job. In the movie, he gets haunted stuff to give to Winston's foundation. And yeah.
I don't like that job either. I don't think Ray would retire in that way. I think he would still want to be a part of it in some way instead of just, doing the shop that makes no sense. Same thing with Winston. It just none of the new Ghostbusters jobs kind of make sense to me. It's like, how do they fall apart? And none of that stuff is ever discussed. I'm more interested in what's happening
this is writing 101 when you're trying to pass the torch, right? You have to. Unfortunately, what they all plan on doing is they make you not like the original people as much by making them kind of shitty people, so you're forced to like the new ones. But for me, it doesn't work.
No.
I don't like. I guess 85% of people like that kind of thing, where it's like all the people you liked were actually trash, and you should like these new people that you can't even remember the name of.
Yeah. Well, my biggest problem, since we're in spoilers, was the fucking ending. 40 years of Ghost. 40 years.
40 years of
They
Ghost?
are all released.
They are all released. Yeah,
They're
that's
still out
because they
there.
want to set up the fucking franchise, Joe.
It's like,
the entire franchise has to go on. Right. They're like, and they do that tropey shit at the end where they do the ending music and the whole audience is there cheering for them as they come out.
Not the
and they
whole
do these
audience,
separate
maybe
little
like 20
montages
people,
where it's like,
people.
whoa, what just happened? I don't know. And it's like, oh, well, we got to go and get these other ghosts. So you do like us, right? And then the mayor comes and he's like, shut it all down. And then the audience is like, we like these guys. And he's like, that's what I mean. We like these guys. Go ahead. It's so fucking tropey. It's so stupid. We got to wrap up. We have something to do. We got to go. Is there anything else, Joe? Go ahead. What you were saying?
The main thing is, like, they should have focused more on that. Like, cut the other shit out. All right, he releases 40 fucking years of Ghost, okay?
Yeah.
So the world is in disarray. Let's fucking go do something about that as opposed to, hey, I like you. You understand me.
That's the next movie, and then the movie after that.
I don't
and then
want
the
it.
movie after
I guess
that.
they better do Ghost Core for real and start bringing in fucking people who, I don't know, are not overweight like me, that can actually run and take these ghosts on and fucking be serious that there's going to be a Ghost Core, and then this core team, this core family continue to bust ghosts, but the world just doesn't
I'm
make
fucking
sense.
tired of these Stay Puffs. I'm tired of them.
So that's the final thing that I wanted to talk about.
It
shows you they think that these things are fucking minions. Like that everybody loves them.
Nobody
and it's like
liked them in the
nobody
first
likes
one.
that. Nobody likes the Stay Puft ones. But I guess maybe in their test audience scores, they're like, oh, everybody marked that they really like the Stay
85%.
Puffs. So then they have to have a mid-credit scene where the Stay Puffs take over a truck and
marshmallows.
drive off the truck, a Stay Puft marshmallow truck. They steal it and drive it off. Cool.
Don't you like marshmallows, Joe?
I just roasted marshmallows, the fire, but this is not this. This was stupid. I hate it. It doesn't make sense. And then the Lucky, this guy, the evil.
Who?
The evil. Joe says the chick's name is Lucky.
Who?
Yeah. You know who it
I
is.
get what you're saying. Well,
Yeah.
she's like, hey, look, I'm here to get you, bitch. And when the fucking Gigantor breaks out, whatever his fucking name is, she fires at him. He freezes her fucking proton stream, and then she starts freezing, and you see her freeze all over.
Yes.
And then in the next scene, she's like perfectly fine and has no ill effects whatsoever. I'm like, fuck this movie. All of the tension is completely out.
Do you want to know something even worse
I
than
don't
that?
understand how y'all don't hate this.
Oh, I don't. I mean, I
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I don't think it's very good. I think it's below average. They figure out like 15 minutes before the movie ends that only brass-coated stuff is going to hurt him.
Yes.
They figure it out. They even said it. They're like, "Hey, we have to coat the internal things of our things with brass." And so instead of like doing like electrolysis or electroplating, they only do one of them. And so then they know that their packs are useless. They know that they're useless, and they know how to fix it. It's upstairs. They've got plenty of brass. She also cut the pole, but then the poles are fixed in the final scene because they forgot.
Movie magic,
because they fucking forgot. And so it's like, this is...
We could probably talk about this for another hour, but we actually have to go. If you want us to, let us know. There are so many plot holes. There are so many stupid moments, and the plot focuses on Phoebe's relationship with this ghost and this friendship, and then getting betrayed by it. And the whole thing is because she wanted to meet her. She wanted to see her family again, this ghost. So you're telling me you were willing to kill everybody in the fucking world, which was this guy's stated goal, and just to see your family again, and then it's like all you needed to do was pass on to see your family again. You didn't consider that maybe, and then at the end of the film, how does Phoebe help her? It's not the villain that helps her pass on to the next life. What does Phoebe do?
The match.
Phoebe passes on, helps her pass on. Yeah. As she does the match.
This is stupid.
Because the fire master needs fire, and then all of a sudden from a small match, then we get an entire flamethrower. We get firebending from Last Airbender.
Hey, look, if you want to continue, there's more. There's more.
I know.
So in the prison, he's in the prison, and he's talking and manipulating all of the other ghosts, including cross town. And so because remember she's talking to him in the streets,
yes.
And so this monster can do long distance phone calls from the prison.
So
but
he
they're like,
possesses her when she's in ghost form. She comes out and she's like standing in front of her friend, and she's like, "Look what I did for you."
It's a pretty shitty prison.
And then she's like, "I'm sorry," and then she tricks her, and her eyes go blue, and she gets manipulated.
But it's like, the monster can't communicate through brass. It's like the thing's made out of brass.
I like these. Every time I like the voice. I like the made up language. I like the Frozen. He's not as good as Gozer. Okay, never will be. Not as good as Vigo.
No,
never.
Do not touch the Vigo.
Do not touch the Vigo.
He's not. Janusz is still
I like
top tier.
him. I like him as the third villain. If they would have executed him far better.
Yes.
And he's so neutered. The man has no balls because he has the power to create these fucking
snowballs,
ice things, and at no point does he ever kill anybody. He's so stupid.
He
freezes everybody. There's
scare
one
you to
off
death.
screen because a guy runs a vape shop called Fire Master. He's like, "Are you the Fire Master?" Or he asks like this, "Are you the Fire Master?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, man," or "No, it's right on the." It's like, you didn't think anything's wrong with that voice. That guy dies, but he dies off screen. One kill counts, and the Ghostbusters who are trying to kill him, at mere mention on whether on a sign, Fire Master. Then when he meets the real Fire Master who says, "I am the Fire Master," or "I'm not a good Fire Master, I am this guy," and
toys with him.
He toys with them. Okay, it's pure fucking hubris, and he puts spikes in all the Ghostbusters' face and freezes them. All the Ghostbusters are completely frozen. They're dead now, or at least have frostbite on every appendage. And so now we have quadriplegic, or what do you call it when you have to amputate all the? You would have no limbs remaining. Ghostbusters, but whatever. That's. It was stupid, and I hated it. The Ghostbusters headquarters gets attacked. That was kind of cool because he just comes directly in there. He's trying to release all the other ghosts. And he accomplishes his objective. He releases all the other ghosts. So,
all gone.
Joe, what is the Deus Ex Machina? How at some point in the film, Phoebe figures out that all she needs to do is mix brass into the into one of the coils.
Dip it in. That's it.
Right? It doesn't make any sense.
She didn't. Yeah.
So she brassitizes braziers the photon beam, which makes it turn green, and that can harm the guy. And he's like, and then the Fire Master does
again,
that.
like Alex said, just
one.
pack.
We're just gonna make one pack. We can prepare, but we can only prepare one, and she's not gonna tell anybody else.
She did. She told everyone they didn't do it.
They didn't do it.
They had plenty of brass because they were using a pole.
Right.
Yeah, the pole was like still intact.
Or even hit the motherfucker with the pole. I don't fucking know. There's so many ways you could have done this better, but they fucked it up. So they're both hitting him with flame and brass photon. Sounds so stupid. And then Ray goes, should we do the thing? And then I think it's Venkman, and he goes, yeah, let's do the thing. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
When you turn the lever from suck to blow, it does the doodad in the containment unit, and it goes from blow to suck.
I guess they did mention that. They're like, yeah, what would happen?
We'll just do
in
the thing.
First one.
Yeah, and then so it just sucks him in, and then as
so
part
they
of
use that as the big ghost trap.
And it welds it shut.
Yeah.
And
it also has the power. That's right. It also has the power in Superman 4 Quest for Peace when Superman looks at the bricks and he goes, and bricks start building themselves. That's what starts happening at the end of this film. Not only does the machine turn from suck to blow, but then the machine repairs all of the brick around the machine.
It's ghost magic.
I couldn't take this anymore. This is so fucking stupid. And we can go for another hour, but we really do need to go now, guys. We can talk more about it if you want us. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.